I'm just going to go ahead and start. I know at some point Gizmo will come out here. He will jump up on the desk. He'll jump on my lap. It's okay, but I need to get started. This is a topic that has come to me. Spirit placed it into my brain, and now I'm going to share it with you. And I'm walking this video slowly, so I might be a little slower in my speech, grasping for words, because I am processing it as I'm sharing it with all of you. All of the videos that I create on here are about consciously creating the life that you want. That means making intentional decisions, choices, actions, intentionally embodying who it is that you're aspiring to be for whatever it is that you're creating. What do I mean by that? Because I want to give you very clear terms and I don't want to be all woo-woo. Let's say, for instance, there is a certain career that you want. And I'm speaking specifically to people who are in their midlife time. And also specifically Black women. This information is for everyone, but this is the demographic that I'm speaking to because that is me. If you have a certain career that you're aspiring to and you're pivoting because maybe for 20 some odd years you've been doing one thing or you've been doing a bunch of different things, and then you have finally decided, okay, I'm actually going to pursue the thing that I love. I'm going to pursue the thing that I've been passionate about, and I'm not going to stop until it is manifest. So with that career that you are going after, it has to first start internally. I've mentioned this before. It has to be internal. You have to feel how you would be in that career. So let's just say you are someone who, let's say you want to be like a travel vlogger, right? You want to be a travel vlogger. Okay. So what does a travel vlogger that is you, how do you feel? Like, what are you thinking about throughout the day? What is your process? What are you doing? Are you planning your trip for like the next place that you're going to go? Are you working on a review for something? Right? It's about feeling it. It's about getting it in here first. And then once there's been enough of a solidified feeling of, okay, I know how I'm supposed to feel. I feel it. You can see it all around you. You don't even see the world that you're living in. You see the world that you're moving towards, even though externally it hasn't happened yet. It's happened internally. So that's when the universe begins to change things in your physical environment to match what it is that you're already sending out as a signal. Follow me? Okay, cool. Oftentimes, and I'm saying this from personal experience, it can be hard to consciously create and move into this dream that you've always had, whether that's a career, whether that's a relationship, whether that's just a way that you've always seen yourself, but you haven't been able to fully live it. Conscious creation means that you have to create from a place of expansion and not scarcity, not out of survival. This component has been one of the most challenging components to break free from in terms of conscious creation, intentional manifestation, embodying the me that is in that timeline already just getting in current with that self, that flow, being that person already. To create from a place of expansion rather than survival can feel terrifying, because the question then becomes, well, where's my safety net? What am I going to do if this fails? Am I going to fall flat on my face? I've already been hurt. I've already been betrayed. I've already experienced all sorts of losses and setbacks, and I don't think I can take another thing. I mentioned this very briefly in my previous video, where I talked about comfort being more dangerous than failure. Failure has lessons. Failure has information and data that can be collected and then turned into fuel to get you into the next phase of where it is that you're trying to go. Failure has information. Comfort doesn't. What in the world? I'm not going to stop this, because every time I do, I get sidetracked. Comfort has no lesson. Comfort is just that. It's comfortable. There's nothing that stretches. There's nothing that pushes you to the margins. There's nothing that shows you just how great and powerful you actually are. Comfort is it's an insidious, slow death. That sounds very dramatic, but that's how I envision it. In order for growth to happen, in order for you to move into something new and bigger and bolder and more exciting and more true to who you are, things have to shift in a different way. Old patterns have to die. Old behaviors have to die. And newer ones have to be put in place. And they have to become a part of your rhythm, your everyday life. It has to be a habit. When I started to realize why I was having such difficulty in manifestation, I can't tell you how many vision boards I made. I've been making vision boards since I was in my 20s, okay? Some things came to fruition. Many things did not. I kept asking myself, why is it that I'm seeing these things? Why is it that I can have such a clear view as to what it is that I'm meant to do, where it is that I'm meant to go, but I get stuck? Why does that keep happening? I talked about it a little bit yesterday in my video, and I'll put the link for it down here, up here in the description box. But I get scared when I can feel myself beginning to stretch out and expand beyond my very curled up, balled up, overall demeanor. There have been so many things in my life that have caused me to continually shrink, continue to contort, continue to dim. And my life has been, while it's been beautiful, and while there has been a lot of lessons, so many things that I've learned about myself, so many things I've learned about love and communication and compassion and all sorts of things. I had been creating mostly from a place of survival. And I was not creating consciously. I was not creating my life with intention. I felt as though life was happening to me and things were just happening. I often felt that I was reacting rather than being proactive, rather than declaring, commanding, demanding things from the universe, saying, this is how it's going to be, and this is what I'm going to take, no less, and I will not receive this. I will put this over here. I had to be so secure within myself where I could demand and command things to be brought into my life. But because I was operating continually in survival, then my manifestations, the dreams that I wanted, the aspirations and the goals that I had for myself, even the person that I desired to be, that I longed to be, could never come to fruition because I was operating from survival. I was operating from lack and scarcity. And I would venture to say, if you are someone who is watching these videos, you're a person of color, you're a queer person of color, you're a black woman in your 40s and up or 30s and up, even if you're a black man, I'm not going to do blanket statements, but I would venture to guess that there have been ways that you have operated from survival and not from expansion. And here's where, regardless of whatever your spiritual practices are, regardless of whatever your ideology is, I truly believe and know that God has given us the power to be able to create the life that we want for ourselves. God comes in and says, if this is what you want, then I will make this happen, and supports us in every way, shape, form, and capacity, inclusive of ancestors, inclusive of all the different spirit guides, angels that we have on our side, spirit team that we are not aware of, people that we know their names and many that we don't. We have the power, we have the capability to create our lives, to create the dreams that we want for ourselves. But if we're operating from survival, then those dreams get stuck and they just stay in our minds. They stay in this imaginative place. As I have been slowly but surely taking the steps, moving with fear. I wanted to say this in the video yesterday, but I forgot. I'm going to put over here, there is a video of an artist named Ariel J. I found her on TikTok. She has an amazing poem. I'm not going to play the poem because I don't want to get any copyright issues. But please make sure you listen to this poem because it is so accurate for how I've been feeling about myself and how I've been feeling about overcoming scarcity, overcoming survival, and allowing myself to fly and soar. I also love Cleo Soul's I don't know the title of the song, but the chorus is Feel the Fear When You Fly. Cleo Soul is just great in general if you really want to have a nice, good vibe and have some really soulful music to uplift you and give you perspective and say, you know what, Cleo, you're right, I can do this. I love her music. These are the two pieces right now, Ariel J and her poem, and Cleo Soul's Feel the Fear When You Fly. These two right now are the artistic pieces that I am standing on, that are keeping me lifted, that are showing me that in order for me to be able to really truly step into this life, in order for me to be the example and to show that it's possible in whatever way, shape, form, or capacity that it's possible, whatever that it means for you or for me, but to be able to step out and to show people that you can live the dream, you can live the life that you've always wanted for yourself. It's going to require stepping out on fear, stepping with fear, and not just stepping out in faith. I think we talk about faith a lot in terms of spirituality and spiritual circles and religious circles. Faith is most definitely important. I think that faith, even if it's small, yes, can be mighty. And I know that I've been repeating this quite a bit in this video, but it's so important to drive home just how stifling trying to create in survival is. If you are in survival mode right now, and I'm just going to tell you this, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, okay? If you are in survival mode and you're going to ask, how do I know? I'll tell you in a minute. You cannot create from survival mode. What you're going to create is ways to get out of whatever situation that you're in. You're going to create pathways, highways, driveways to be able to get you to safety. But if you want to create, and I'm talking about create joy, pleasure, abundance, be expansive, be great, be powerful, you cannot do that in survival mode. How do you know that you're in survival mode? Well, do you feel like you're constantly stressed? One of the signs that I have, and this is why I talk about awareness, is my throat feels like it's closing up. I can feel sometimes when I am stressed and my throat and my chest get really tight. And I oftentimes am speechless. That's by design because I am holding myself back. I shouldn't actually be doing that. I really should be communicating. This is just one of the things that I know that I do when I get very stressed is I get very silent and I'm trying to be present. And if I talk, it's not going to make a lot of sense. I'm going to usually speak from emotion, so it'll be very erratic and all over the place. And rather than say something that I don't mean or say something, and it's not even that it would be negative, just saying things that are incoherent, I just say nothing. I don't know what your particular sensations are when it comes to being in survival. If you feel like you don't have the capability to rest or to slow down, you might be in survival. If you're experiencing a lot of headaches, if you're having sleepless nights, these are just basic things, but there are things that are specific to you. And I'm sure that I don't even need to give you qualifiers to say whether or not you're in survival mode. You'll know. You'll know. You can feel it. And even if you were to try and lie to yourself and say that you're not in survival mode, you know when you are. So, if there is a life that you want to create, if there is a destiny that you have for yourself, I want to tell you that as a queer person of color, as a femme presenting person, someone middle-aged, that breaking that survival mode, breaking that pattern of yes, where are you? On the TV. Y'all saw this in the back. I'm going to keep going. Breaking the pattern of survival where I'm simply existing and I'm taking life as it's coming to me. Are you trying to take stuff off because you're trying to get my attention? Creating from survival is not the mode that you need to be in. There are practices that I've shared on here. There are things that I've talked about. There's affirmations that you can use, going to therapy. I want to share how important it is for you to be able to know that you don't have to just survive, that you can thrive, that you can live, that you can have the dream that you want, that you can have the life of your dreams, that you can live this life in a way that it's not just you're like crawling through the mud, and it's just like that's how life has to be. I truly believe that life is not meant to be hard. I truly believe that life is meant to be joyous. It's something that's meant to be fun, that we're supposed to just laugh and have a wonderful time. And I think that we can do that, and we're capable of doing that, particularly for people of color, reclaiming our sense of joy, reclaiming our pleasure, reclaiming our power, reclaiming the things that have been taken away from us, that have been stripped from us for so many years, whether that's generationally and it's just kind of passed down through the bloodline, or and experiences that you're having in your own life right now, where you feel as though you're being silenced, where you feel as though you're being demeaned, you're being diminished, where you're not seen, where you're not heard. Listen, it's not how life is meant to be lived. So I'm leaving this video with prompts. I'm leaving this video with kind of an open end to really get you to begin asking yourself, first and foremost, are you in survival mode right now? If you are, how can you get yourself out of survival mode? Now, if you are in a situation where you are really in danger, you got to tend to that. You got to be able to tend to that in whatever way, shape, or form you can. And I hope that you have the support that you need, that you have people that you can trust, that you can lean on, that can help you get out of the situation, and support you in the best way possible. If you're not in any imminent danger and you're feeling as though you are in survival mode, then I want you to begin to connect with your body, connect with yourself. Take some time, slow down, introduce yourself to yourself. You can do it. You can find ways, you can find pockets throughout your day where you're intentionally with yourself, being quiet, being still, listening, being attentive to your body, knowing what stress, what survival feels like in your body, and then do things counter to that. If you feel tension in your shoulders, relax them. If you feel that you're clenching your jaw, relax it. More and more that you are able to turn the tide and show your body, retrain it so that it can relax in expansiveness. It can relax in joy. It can relax in pleasure and not feel tense. Trusting that the universe, God, has got your back. You have your back. Then you can begin to really soar. That's when I think life becomes even more beautiful. I've had these moments throughout my life where I was able to see something that I held on to and believed in, and then it came to fruition, but I still wasn't creating consciously. I still wasn't intentionally cultivating the life that I desired. I was still doing it from survival. And a lot of times, I don't want to say it was by accident, because nothing's by accident, but sometimes the blessings that would happen, or the visualizations that then became manifest in the physical, happened because I was so adamant. Like what fueled it was just there was nothing that was stopping me from believing that this thing was going to happen. I knew it without a shadow of a doubt. But that was still in survival. So I want all of us to begin to really question for ourselves and tease out, how are we able to no longer be in survival mode? I know I keep repeating that. Creating the life of our dreams. Making sure that we're not sliding into comfort. Failure we can learn from. Comfort we can't. And really cultivate something that's beautiful in whatever next phase of your life that you're in. If you're in that halfway point, or you're even in a place where you're like, I'm not at a halfway point, but I want to shift to something else. Let's do this all together. Let's do this. It's possible, y'all. We can do this. We can do it. I'm doing it. Like I said, there was a previous video, putting the jetpack on. Okay, the last video cut out because my battery died, so I had to switch batteries. But I think it was perfect to to end right there. And I'm going to simply say that let us collectively begin to create with intention. Let's begin to create from a place of expansion, from abundance, and really, really take this next phase of our lives and just see what amazingness we can build together. Okay? So I will catch y'all on the next video. Please make sure that you like and comment and subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. I hope that you stick around. I'm so glad that you're a part of this community, this collective. And make sure you share these videos with people that you think will like the information and the content. And I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.